every one of you back again with another AMA session, and this time around we are five. That's a really good number. That means that it's a really good engagement, really good conversation we're going to have today. I want to take this time. So usually what we do, we ask our listener in the audience session to just drop their flag and let us know where they're joining us from to create more engagement. That lasts for maximum 59 seconds. Then we can get started. Let us know in the comment section where you're joining us from. And as you can see for yourself, it's going to be a more insightful conversation, detailed conversation on our partnership and what it means for both ecosystem. Um,
Yeah, we can wait like 5 more
Super
minutes.
happy to be on here, guys.
okay. So we're already 4 minutes into our time. So this we lost Raja. Okay, you're there. Okay, good.
Yep.
So welcome back again to another AMA session. Today's conversation is solely on our partnership router, one of the leading people in the space, and we're going to be discussing detail on what does this partnership entails for both ecosystem and what are some of the benefits it brings to the global, the general space. I'm talking about blockchain, AR, and Web3 space. So I will allow our speakers to introduce themselves, 1 minute max, and then after that we can jump straight into it. Andrew, you want to start first? What about our team router?
Yeah, so welcome back to a new session. I guess you already know me. I am the CEO, founder of OpenfabricAI. So our mission is to democratize AI and make it accessible to everyone. So welcome back to a new amazing session together with our partners router. So I will just head over the presentation to our people in the call. So yeah, please tell us a few words about yourself.
We'll go with you, Bart. Introduce yourself. Tell a little bit about you. 1 minute max, and followed by Max and Venka.
Thanks, Mavic. Happy to be on here. My name is Bharat, and I'm part of the business and partnerships team at Router. And yep, before Router, of course, I've been in blockchain since 2 cycles now, and I've interacted with over 250 projects in my previous experience with a crypto marketing firm. And now with Router, we're building interoperability with multiple projects, L1s, L2s on different blockchains, multiple different dApps that are bringing the next scale of usability and adoption to crypto.
Nice. Mas, you want to take it from there?
Yeah, so I'm Suraj. I'm the head of partnerships for Router Protocol. I've been an AI innovator for the last 5 years, generally on the distribution front and on the media front. But now I'm looking architecturally kind of deeper into autonomous agents and how they will be value drivers for the economy. So I've been very impressed with what OpenFabric is doing in kind of facilitating a decentralized, network for various value adders in the AI ecosystem. They could be data providers, they could be builders, or they could just be, regular users, right? Like end users. And the vision of OpenFabric is pretty amazing, and I think it adds a lot of value to the sphere of AI. And making this interoperable would open a range of use cases. We'll get into that, but I'll just stop myself here because I saw the clock, and let's give it to Lakshmi.
Lakshmi, you can take it from there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So thank you for having us here. I am Lakshmi. I am working with the marketing team at Router Protocol. I've been in the blockchain space for around 3 years now, and with Router, I've been loving it, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so you just heard from our speakers from both team. Andrew introduced himself. We heard the guys from Router. By the way, my name is Jonathan Marvick Clark, and I work with OpenFabric, more into the data analytics and business growth interspersed with marketing department at OpenFabric. So today's conversation, if you're just tuning in, is another AMA session talking about our partnership. So usually what we do is that we try to get our community involved to ask to provide us insight or provide us suggestion on what they want to see or engage in and some of the questions that we send out. People want to know more about our partnership router and what does this means for them and how can they get involved. So, by the way, we're going to have this AMA session into three segments. The first segment basically will be a pre-selected question that we usually do. We ask our community to send in question, and we post the question to our speakers, and we engage more in a dialogue form. And the second segment, obviously, will be the part where we take questions from the audience, and then we post the question to our speakers and let them answer all of the concerns and questions that the audience are posting to them. To get started, we will jump straight into the first segment, which is basically talking about the partnership and its benefits to both community. We will start with our team, Router people. How does Router vision for interoperability and open fabric integration align with the current challenges faced by blockchain network? Anybody from the team can go first.
It's a good question. I think I'll take it. Yeah, Suraj, would you like to
I
start?
kind of wanted to take this one, but okay, go ahead, man.
All right, go for it. If you'd like to go for it, go for it.
Okay. So I think the vision is very simple, right? The end goal is to get 1 billion users to Web3, right? And use decentralized services, decentralized applications. And now when we start to think that AI is also part of, the user count, right? That adds a very nice dimension. And the fact is you can acquire users much faster, and a lot of those users could be AI, right? There's going to be a lot more activity in the market because of AI. And this is where I think, our visions align, right? For us, it's obviously, to connect as many things as possible. And second is bring the best of what you can get on the internet. And that's why I think, our visions are very aligned.
That's nice. So we'll come back to router team. Let's see it from Andre. Then we'll come back. We'll take Lakshmi. Then we'll go to you, Brad. Andre.
So when it's about Web3 and AI, normally it seems to like two distinct things that normally they cannot work together. But I guess the most powerful innovation get born by putting together things that naturally don't seem to be working together. So in a way, by bringing AI technology and putting together with the blockchain in way to scale it up and make it more accessible to people, I guess it's like it's in a way it's a shared vision, because it's about empowering people with state-of-the-art technology, and you don't have to be like a top innovator like or scientist or researcher to make use of AI technology. So I guess this is like a common vision for the future, where everyone can make use of it doesn't matter if it's blockchain technology or AI technology. Everyone can make use of this amazing technology and utilize them in a way that they can get the most advantage out of it. So I guess the future is about being more competitive and being more capable to adapt, because the market is going to start accelerate the process of new businesses, the process of new things which are going to emerge will be driven by this. And I guess this vision is something where we align very good, both OpenfabricAI and of course router protocols. So there's a big synergy in these things.
Interesting. That sounds very good for you guys. We just mentioned that. So, Lakshmi, can we hear from you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as you guys, I remember while researching about your platform, you had very nicely written that, you guys provide the brain of AI and you are looking for blockchain muscles, strong blockchain muscles. So this partnership basically represents that, and I'm like all of us are very much looking forward to what all is possible when these two innovative future technologies come together and how it can actually help the users out there.
Fantastic. Brad, you wanted to say something, but then Raju came in.
I guess to summarize everything, the whole idea here is participation, right? New user participation. And with every cycle, we see the new wave of adoption coming in. And with the kind of interest we're seeing right now, it's important to build something that allows people to be able to come together and explore it with high demand and interest. And both our projects have that same vision and alignment. So looking at an interoperable future with a blockchain which is enabled by AI, connecting with other blockchains that are there by already having a large volume of users and dApps on it, well, then the future is just endless. The kind of work we can do is just open. So let's go for it.
I mean, you
That's
guys,
my entire view.
that's a very good response you guys just gave. Talking about facing some of the challenges, bringing together a community that people can have access to AI tools. That's a very good point that you guys touched. But again, that another concerns, especially when it comes to what are some of the futures and all of that. So this leads me to my next question: what unique features and or technology does a router bring to the table to enable seamless interoperability among diverse blockchains? This one for the router team.
Sure. So I'll let me take this one first, Suraj, and then I guess you can fill in.
Hmm.
So we've been the first in the interoperability business, router, right? V1 was launched in 2022 with a proof of authority bridge. We've partnered with over 100 plus projects with our API integrations, which allow them to do asset transfers from chain A to chain B. And unlike other bridges, which sort of limited you with that bridging, we allowed you to actually have a selected token for your chain A and also have a different output token at chain B, which was something that other bridges still haven't even been able to develop. So that was just our V1. Right now, we are in testnet to launch our V2, which is coming up. And that's where the actual innovation lies. So Router Chain is our new middleware, which is built on Cosmos SDK. And this encompasses the Tendermint consensus. So for security, we can actually use the Cosmos chain security and also then allow the scalability that is provided with our own architecture to enable smart contract functionality within your cross-chain messaging functions. So it's revolutionizing what regular dApps can already do, right? Now, when we look at the entire bridge function, we needed to ensure that we had security, which is the most important factor taken care of, decentralization, which we've also got a decentralized validator set up, and scalability. So thereby allowing applications to like generate specific enhancements, which are what users are looking for the next wave when they're coming in. So smart bridging. Let me just give you a subtle example of what's possible here. Just think of it like buying an ERC-721 Ethereum NFT with your BET20 USDT in one contract call. Saving multiple steps, saving your gas instead of having to like go through the procedure of moving your assets to another blockchain and then taking your transactions. This is just done in one step. Yep, Suraj, over to you.
um, Lakshmi, do you want to add something to that?
I guess I should let Suraj take it.
Sure, let's go for it.
Okay, I'll probably take a deeper tech dive into what's happened. So we've always had generalized message passing between chains, right? And we also have had a smart contract library on Solidity that would help you go cross-chain, which is still available. It's called Crosstalk. However, each of our products, right, that we've had in our product suite gets a huge upgrade. And these upgrades are basically the fact that you have way more customizability because the infrastructure for the bridge, right, it's actually a blockchain by itself. So it's a blockchain that's connecting other blockchains. So it's a single source of truth, and all the accounting is happening, right? And being a blockchain, it has smart contract capabilities. So now in the middle itself, you can have all kinds of logic. For example, let's say half my workforce wants, to receive USDC and on Polygon network, and half my workforce wants to receive XSGD on, let's say, Ethereum network. Okay, this kind of logic can happen through a simple smart contract written on router chain itself, and kind of connecting all different chains. It's going to bring more liquidity and more free flow of assets and activity across all chains. And to the end user, who's the biggest benefactor, it brings more power and more array of things that they can do sitting on any chain. So that's my answer. Thank you.
That's very fantastic. And then speaking of how do you call it, cross chain, this one is more specific for Andre. We already established a partnership with Router, and they're more into the coaching platform. So, what role does OpenFabric play in enhancing the scalability and performance of Router in a cross-chain platform? Andrew, this is for you.
So I guess this came as an extension of the things that people from Router just say. So in essence, while Router it's a way to connect multiple blockchain and to enable multiple ecosystems to work together to cooperate. By creating an integration with Router protocol, basically all these chains are capable to make use of AI functionality in a simple way. So we created something we call the integration wizard, which essentially deploy like a smart contract, like a bridge smart contract, and essentially we can seamlessly interact with any other layer one, any other protocol very easily. So basically, from that specific protocol perspective, it will be able to query or to utilize any AI functionality or call an AI application as would be as call another smart contract. So imagine what kind of amazing things can be built by putting this kind of functionality on top of a protocol as router. So basically, all the connecting chains will be able to make use of AI functionalities to query a application at a smart contract level. So I guess this is like something extremely powerful, and I guess we're going to see a lot of things built on just this, on top of this very powerful integration functionality we are building together.
Good. So that's a very good response. But again, they are more concerned about this partnership. As I mentioned to you initially, we take a question from the community to ask them, what do you want the speaker to answer? That's the pre-selection question part. This one is for Router and OpenFabric, for you, Andre, and Router team. How does Router and OpenFabric partnership address the issue of trust and security when facilitating interaction between different different blockchains? We can go first with the Router team.
In terms of security, everything that interacts with router is being backed by a POS network, right? And POS is game theoretically a very secure mechanism to kind of establish trust and like to ensure safety of the network or communication. Besides that, like the fact that we use COSM-WASM and everything and router dissolves into COSM-WASM, unlike Solidity, at the root level, router chain actually is shielded from re-entrancy attacks, which is common or vulnerability in Solidity itself. However, for like onboarding devs, uh, we have an EVM chain, and they can write Solidity contracts, but everything kind of dissolves into COSM-WASM. So like that's pretty much like machine code. So when you're getting to that level, there's a lot more control for you as a programmer, and there's a lot more control for you to be very secure with your communication. So uh, that's one of the points. uh, and of course, the network is like has validators that are securing the network, and that number is only going to grow. Will make it more and more decentralized. So uh, that's security and decentralization and scalability also kind of meeting, because being on Cosmos ecosystem, the throughput is fast. So this by association makes any chains that we are connected to faster as well.
And I guess adding to the Suraj or Etin Kortor's points, I feel that one of the major benefits that we are providing, except for interoperability, is actually security, because security itself is a very subjective concept, I feel. But other than that, in the space, we have always seen that L1s, if you see, how secure they've always been. The attacks that have happened are basically on the applications that are built on those. And the second thing is that when router was being built, security was actually taken into consideration, which is why we have POS network. And for any malicious activity to happen, there should be a consensus of more than 67%, which is very difficult to achieve. So it's natively very secure. And one of the most important points that I would want to highlight in terms of security with router is that as you know that L1s itself are very secure chains. So router so for router, our chain is our bridge and our bridge is our chain. So there are both the functionalities. We have the security of a chain and we have functionalities of a bridge, and not just any arbitrary bridge. I mean, we are enabling like stateful and stateless both the bridging. So that, I guess.
Yes,
And then even if you have projects on like developing on router chain, they can also adopt their own application specific security layer as well. So that adds another, validation point. And a lot of projects, that are developing and they're all exploring like, multi-chain approaches. So the future of dApps is definitely going to be interoperable. And we're just ensuring we have an architecture that's completely adaptable and very easy to implement for a lot of projects. So our frameworks are actually, if anyone's a developer and watching this, if you're going into a docs page, you're going to have a wonderful time getting through with it. And we have an amazing community of devs as well, on our socials, and it's a very active space. So, yep, welcome in.
interesting. Yes, let's hear for you, Andre. That goes to you.
So when it's about security and trust, as the router team mentioned, it's very subjective in a way. But I guess the most important thing when we are discussing about that, we have to think about the incentives. Which is the incentive for somebody to behave in a good way or to misbehave? So I guess if a protocol has the right incentive encoded at the protocol level, then the people will behave in the right way because this is beneficial for them. So if the protocol has the right rules and has the right mechanic to correct bad behavior, then of course people will be very incentivized not to do things that they don't, that are not normal. So in a way, of course, we all utilize like proof of stake or a variation of proof of stake or Byzantine fault tolerance. In our case, we call dynamic consensus, which is like a superset of proof of stake. So in essence, we want to, involve in decision because, consensus is about taking decisions. Even it's about we decide what transaction we put in a block. It's a decision regarding a certain state or set of the system. Consensus, it's generally about taking decision. So in our case, we have implemented something we call dynamic consensus, where the amount of people involved in certain decisions is dynamically according to the import of that specific decision. So if it's like a very important decision, then everyone should be involved. It is something which is, of course, has like a lot of, immediate or localized effect. Then we can restrain the number of people to take that decision. So of course, in order to enable like good trust and good security, I guess the first step is about having the right incentive mechanics, put their own protocol levels. So when we got that, I guess everything is working pretty smoothly. Of course, there will be exception, but if there will be mechanisms to correct that easily, then I guess you're building something very, very solid, something which can stand the test of time.
Well, I guess that question gave more clarity to some of the concerns that people within our space were having about security and trust issues. So you have it from them. They just gave it to you that there is a guarantee, or there are tons of different guarantees from both ecosystems, making sure that security is in check and trust is something that they live by. So this leads me to the next question. This is more. I want you guys to answer this from an end user perspective. What benefits should both ecosystem expect from this partnership? Andrew, you wanted to take this one.
So I guess one of the most, and of course from our perspective, so one of the biggest benefits about people being able to make use of AI technology in a simple way. So we want a lot of people to be able to make use of AI technology without being technical or without expert in the field. Because in this moment, of course, we're seeing a lot of hype, a lot of posts on social media about different kind of machine learning and AI algorithms, like new search paper, things like that. Of course, but there are just a few people who actually can use that and start and utilize such an algorithm. So our vision is to let a lot of people to make use of the AI technology in a simple manner. So the most fashioned way of doing that is actually to collaborate with like router protocol, which essentially is like a hub. And once this is integrated with router, a lot of other chains will be able to interact with AI technology very, very easily. So this is something extremely powerful. And of course, it provides like the freedom and the power to the people. They provide the power for people to make use of a lot of AI functionality that currently just seeing videos, or they're just seeing posts on different social channels. So the main difference is that people will be actually able to use that, and of course integrate it in the things they're doing in their business process, or utilize it for the creative or whatever they're doing with them. So yeah, this is something very, very powerful.
Well, we have some really good benefit for both ecosystems. So let's hear from our guys from Router. Brock, do you want to take this first?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And I definitely think that an integration with OpenAI is definitely going to like open up possibilities for the users to come in and experiment on what they can build and learn. So just, I mean, as Andrew was saying, I think he said that the router is a hub. In fact, for us, it's more like Open Fabric AI is like an island, and we have multiple bridges or routes, which is connecting you with multiple blockchains, right? So we're bringing the tourists, and that's like from each and every different blockchain, and that's what's creating traction. That's your transacting volume on your chain. So taking care of all that heavy work for you and ensuring that that island has multiple connectivity. You don't need passports to enter it. You absolutely, it's a trustless environment. So that's like a good way to picture, I think, our middleware, right? And that's just the user side. That's one side. Then we have the application side, which is like more development within Open Fabric AI's ecosystem because of the increased traffic, right? So once you have, the volumes come in, you know what AI needs? AI needs high volumes, high data points to ensure and nurture that it grows well. And Router's your friend here. So,
Interesting.
like, I could give some examples as well. Like, you could imagine like a supply chain solution, which is using like routers technology to have connect stakeholders across various different blockchains. And like Open Fabric AI then is like it gets analytics, it has intelligent decision making, like an automated process that helps that supply chain, probably like that solution grow and facilitate better in terms of in every way possible. Or another example you could think of is like a user that wishes to deploy like a cross-chain bot, which uses like AI rebalancing, and it doesn't matter which blockchain he has his assets on, but he can literally deploy the bot on multiple other chains and use Open Fabric AI's like analytic tools to ensure there's smart rebalancing and the bot's making smart decisions based with real-time Oracle feeds. So there's so many like creative ideas that you could actually come up with. These are just a few I was thinking on call.
Well, you have it from Andre and you have it from Brad. You just mentioned some of the amazing benefits that this partnership brings to both ecosystem. It's basically a space where it allows you to unleash your imagination, just bring things to life, just do something creative. Just they have already bridged the gap for you. All you need to do is to take the first step and start to go. So, Laxma, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Bharat has just now used a very beautiful analogy to make it very understandable for a layman person. But even if I want to add something, I guess router itself, with router there are plethora of options that can be, or plethora of use cases that can be, created out of it. And then when we have a perfectly nice product fit like OpenfabricAI with us, I guess it's just a matter of time when we see a lot of users and a lot of developers, builders just coming and unleashing their creativity to bring out the best of both the worlds.
Nice. Raju, do you want to tap in or we just move to the next question? I see your dash screen. So, yeah, you guys just gave a more clarity on that. So, for those of you that are more concerned about some of the benefits this partnership brings to both ecosystem, they just highlighted the most essential points, and Brad and Andre they broke that down to the simplest way possible for a layman to understand. So they build bridges and they want you to just work on that bridges and unleash your imagination. So it's up to you to take the first step. This move to the second, the next question. Um, this one say, can you explain how router cross-chain platform open fiber integration can foster collaboration and innovation within the blockchain ecosystem? We'll start with router.
Sure. So the DApp ecosystem keeps evolving, right? So with every evolution, it requires like deeper tech facilitations to enhance user experiences. And now, as with our last example, I just gave you that router provides both applications and users with the fastest route, as it's in the token's name itself, for whatever purpose they intend for their cross-chain actions. Now, in terms of like efficiency or productivity, router is like it's enabling like a smoother interchain communication for dApps across various different L1s. And in terms of productivity, like you definitely seeing when this facilitation is created, that dApps have a far better way of looking at the on-chain architecture. Like our chain is very modular, right? So it can be customized to whatever a dApp requires. Now, sometimes the dApp needs to like batch transactions and deploy it at once, so sequence transactions, or require like composability. So all of these can be implemented using router. So therefore, it's just increasing the kind of productivity that you can enable yourself with when you're on the middleware itself. And to sum it all up, like I think like router generally like breaks down silos and streamlines processes by enabling interoperability. Um, and yep, I think Suraj, would you like to like give some idea about how we amplify like our transaction speed, the finality, even though we're taking transactions from EVM to non-EVM chains? Because that's where our testing is
Yeah.
right now. We've got some really good stuff. If you go and check out our socials, you can actually take part in some of the IDAPs that the team is working on, and maybe get yourself some cross-chain NFTs as well.
Yeah.
Good. So we have an Andre on how this on this question, and then we take another question, and after that we'll open the floor for the live question from the audience session to post it on stage. Our back team, I know they guys are already ready, and they'll be posting it up for us to read to you guys. So Andre, let's hear from you.
Yes. So I guess the team for router provide a quite good and extensive way, summarization of what's happening. So we see a lot of innovation in the space. People got the chance to create new kind of dApps. They got the chance to create new kind of feature, create even new businesses, new type of businesses. Because let's face it, technology it's good, it's interesting, but in a way, it has to have sort of finality to bring value to people, either as business, as a personal level. It has to bring value. So I guess by providing people with the capabilities to make use of AI technology in a way that it wasn't possible before, let's be honest, it's even possible right now. There are a few solutions provided by the giant companies, but beyond that, all of other implementation are very limited to people who possess like the knowledge and the skills and the infrastructure to build this kind of application. So what we're doing, we're pushing the limit and provide access to people, to a lot of more builders to create new AI application, to create new use cases, to create like even new businesses, if you want to, that are utilizing one of the most powerful technology that we are using today, and that's the artificial intelligence. So of course, by putting this technology in hands of a lot of people, I guess it's going to have a very benefic, outcome in the in the market, not only in the market, in the society, because up to this moment, the AI technology was something very exclusive to the big players, to the companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, all of that. But now the technology is becoming easily accessible and is getting into hands of a lot of people, and this is fantastic because a lot of people can use the same tools that make Facebook, Amazon, all these companies, the big, how they make it so wealthy and so powerful. Now the people have access to the same technology, and this is something extremely important and with an extremely powerful potential on the long run for everyone, I guess.
Yeah, that's a really good response to that question. So for those of you who are just tuning in, this is another AMA session, and this is more about the partnership between Router and Open Fabric. What does this partnership entails for both ecosystem, and what are some of the benefits that we should expect? And they are just giving some more info or insight into the partnership. And we want to say we will have the last question, and then we'll move straight to the question from the audience. So this one say, how does Router and Open Fabric plan to educate and create awareness among blockchain enthusiastic and developers about the importance of both a company? So how do you plan to educate people, create awareness around these things? Because after the partnership, we need to create more awareness and then attract more people to leverage this partnership. How do you guys plan? We'll start with Router.
So I have a couple of ideas and very interesting use cases which would kind of get the audience to really appreciate the power we are bringing in their hands. I think one is, it's all about culture in Web3, right? And how can you build culture with generative art, generative AI and AI creativity capabilities coming on chain, and you being able to launch NFTs that are cross-chain, but natively coming out of Open Fabric, right? This will give rise to the next, open sea of innovation. That's one of the angles. Then there's another angle where we look at the builders, right? Now, if I'm a builder and I'm able to utilize certain functions on chain, like Solidity smart contracts to help me, invoke ChatGPT or, maybe, like use the AI algorithm such as reinforcement learning for my trading, right? This could be something that could be placed in, institutions. Like institutions could, use these kinds of algorithms to make markets. Even general users would get the ability to make markets, to LP on different chains, to do various kinds of activities, using APIs and using, an AI at the end of those APIs. So I think that's another very interesting use case. The third thing that I can think about is, in general, right? If we are able to offer more AI applications to users on other chains, this would be interesting from gamers' perspective, and when you really look at that segment of metaverses and GameFi.
Nice. That's.
I hope I was audible.
You're audible, but it sounds like you are in like a glass, and voice is coming out. But it's okay.
Oh man,
We were
I
able to
have
make out what you were saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what's important.
That's the most important thing. The message is passed. So you good. So
Is it
Andres,
better now?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I missed the whole thing. But I'll just do a very small recap. For the culture, I think it makes sense. Number one is I think generative art coming in on chain and possibilities for creators from music, artwork, and the culture. The second thing I can think about is for builders to utilize function calls similar to ChatGPT on chain, using our partnership. And the third thing I can think about is uh, yeah, like taking AI services to different chains. Yep.
good. I think these are very
So
good point. Yes,
like
Raj.
with anything new, right? I mean, I still remember those days when we used to go up on forums to learn how to use certain applications that just released in the market to understand new features that were being plugins in those applications. Everyone needs guides, and the more guides we have, the more we're enabling people to be able to build and be inclusive in the entire decentralized society. So it's, as Suraj said, culture is very important, and our culture is literally sharing as much knowledge with everyone that comes to us. So, with every partner that we make, we ensure that we deep dive into understanding exactly how to make the best out of, our synergies, and of course, involve the entire community with that entire growth as well. So, yep, that's the.
Fantastic. Before we move to Andre, Lakshmi, do you want to add
Sure.
something further?
Yeah, I guess when it comes to spreading awareness and letting the community out there know that what you are doing and what you are capable of putting out in the ecosystem, I guess at Router we have been very beautifully taking a 360-degree approach to it. For example, if you go on our socials, we have been we have been breaking down things for the people out there in a very creative way. We use videos, we use blogs, or we use simple posts, or and this AMA is again one of the examples of telling the world what we are doing and how we can benefit them. So I guess that's more or less it. I mean, taking all kinds of approach, and I guess with the speed that the Web3 space is growing, every other day there is a new decentralized platform to be out there and showcase what you are and what you are capable of. So being active there, telling people with such AMAs, such blogs, or such social content, and even going meeting them in person at IRL events, create having something like iDapathon for developers out there to come and build with us and see what they all can achieve with us. So yeah.
Good. Andres, let's just hear from you before we move to the audience.
Yeah, so I guess beyond the example that the people from Router just mentioned, which of course all of them make sense, are something that we are gladly provide like support, provide guidance to people. Of course, I guess the most powerful thing it's about it's in a way it's like as Apple did it with their product. They let people utilize it, see how powerful it gets, so they will get like to be more involved
Comfortable.
and comfortable, and of course to let other people know about it, because it's not only about creating awareness by directing message, because this is something that we do, but what is more important than that is to create awareness in an indirect way. So basically let people use our technology, play with it, see its power, then let other people know about it. And I guess this is something like a chain reaction, which once it started, we're going to see something very amazing happening around us. So a lot of people will see, the potential and the power of utilizing, both protocols, even it's router of OpenFabric. But I'm quite sure that once they manage to have a look on what we're building and see how it's working, they will automatically get to be one of those people very keen to not only to use the technology, but also to let other people to engage other people in the great things we're building.
Well, I mean, that's you guys just gave a really fantastic response to that question, especially talking about all of the awareness that Router is thinking about creating that they have already started, the 360-degree that Limas mentioned. And then also you, Andre, you talk more about, creating awareness beyond just creating awareness, like turning your customer into supporter, which is something that's very fantastic. And I think that with that, there will be a lot of awareness out there to make people to get engaged within our ecosystems. So we'll move to the questions from the audience. So guys, are you guys ready for the guys? We have a lot of questions coming in. So let's start with the first one. This one say, according to the roadmap, what is your most important next top three priorities? Router, let's hear from you now. Move to Andre.
So obviously, it's more growth, right? And that comes with the release of our mainnet, which will be coming up. We're on testnet right now, and this partnership is happening on testnet. Once we go mainnet, that will be a new era of growth. Uh, and yeah, I think some of our more interesting developments have also been that we are connecting to Bitcoin, number one on the king of crypto, and what brings us all into this ecosystem and to innovate and everything. So connecting to more networks, bringing the innovation out. This is what our plan is, and this is what keeps us motivated as a team. Whether it's tech, whether it's BD, whether it's marketing, whatever name. But at the end of the day, we are very aligned with the adoption and with the connection of different ecosystems, and to enhance and make this universe much bigger, right? With crypto.
New wave of
Interesting.
interoperable dApps. So I think that's the next thing on the roadmap.
Okay. Lakshmi, you want to add something to it?
Sure. So I just as Aitan mentioned that mainnet is one of the most important destinations that we are looking forward to, and until that happens, this is actually pretty much related to the earlier question of awareness and what Andre had answered, that spreading awareness through real use cases and for people to see and get a taste of what you are doing. So we have recently released two of our IDApps, Exchange and Ping Pong. So these are basically an open interoperable decentralized application for people to come and use and see what cross-chain capabilities we are capable of. And other than that, until we reach mainnet, I guess you will be seeing more of such IDApps coming and giving the opportunity to the community to try and test what we are doing. Other than that, the moment we are also heading towards our gamified testnet Mandara. Mandara is right now open for building, and developers are already building on it. But we will also be coming with a more gamified version of it, which is again a very new thing which is happening in our community. So the moment we come up with our gamified testnet, and while all of you come and see what is happening around it, we will soon also be releasing our very detailed roadmap for the community.
Awesome. So move to Andre.
So when it's about priorities, of course, we already built like an amazing product which is running in our testnet. We cracked one of the most hard problem in AI and in that space when it's about enable execution of AI very easily. So from an end perspective, but when it's about the next things and the next important milestone for us, so we have. I would say, like, of course, mainnet, because right now we are in the test phase. The second thing would be something that we call basically composability of AI. So maybe for a bit, one of the biggest problems right now in the AI is that you're very limited to the GPU power on a single board. So you need some very fancy, very expensive CPU boards to be able to run very complex model. So now we're preparing to create a new innovation. We're working on that, on a new innovation that we let people to split model across multiple GPUs. So basically, you could be able to run, let's say, like GPT like chat GPT like model in a distributed manner. And this is one of our key things that we're building. We want to make use of a decentralized network, the execution power of a lot of nodes, to be able to distribute this model and to be able to execute some models that currently only like very big company can do it today. And of course, the third thing, which is important for us, is also to launch our economy, because of course we are building an amazing technical tool, we are building an amazing protocol, but it's also important to have a value for the people utilizing this. So for the entire ecosystem to work in a seamless fashion, we have to also to create an economy that brings value for each of the stakeholders in our economy. So yeah, I guess that would be major milestone that we'll focus on next in the next period.
So usually what we do that we snap as opposed to clapping. So we're gonna snap for Router and OpenFabric because it's clear that this is a real company, real people building real product, not just the other people around. And one of the main concerns within the blockchain space, you have a lot of people just following this happen thing. No, we're building this, we're building this, we're building that. But this is a clear roadmap that these people are showing to you. So for you who asked this question, I hope they provided you with the right response. As they mentioned to you, the mainnet is a top priority on their list. And stay tuned. Make sure you follow them on social media and be up to date with their development. So move to the next question. What future integration does Router Protocol have planned in the future? Okay, I see. This is another follow-up. I think you guys provided respond to this, but if you want to take it, you can still take it. What future integration does Router Protocol have planned in the future? I see you steady building. Okay, so this is for Router. Who want to go first?
I think you're on mute, Suraj.
Bharat, you can take this one.
Sure thing. So when we're looking at building dApps using our middleware, and we're looking at adding custom logic into your bridging, you could be literally exploring multiple different avenues for your growth. So we're looking at products being built like, you could say, like cross-chain digital identities. So you're not token gated from entering one blockchain because your digital identity is on another. So our partners like Galaxy for that, or like you could think of cross-chain governance if there's a DAO being built, and it doesn't matter which blockchain's holding the tokens, everyone has that equal right for voting. Or like I said, if you're looking at a DEX or anyone that is providing any kind of exchange for like lending, borrowing, staking, all of this can be enabled with a cross-chain architecture using our middleware on Router. So endless possibilities. Do bring the ideas in. We're open to having a look at all the wonderful ideas coming from the community and actually putting them to work. Any others, Suraj, you could think of?
So I think it would be very interesting to, get all the AI projects on our ecosystem, like Bramgun, or now that's being rebranded to GPU.net. And then, of course, my project as well, who are already building with Router to kind of, also place into the OpenFabric ecosystem, because this is a very nice and interesting niche that's developing, such as Chain GPT. There's so many, projects that are maybe Chain GPT is not yet a partner, but soon, of course, we will be pursuing such AI partnerships. But yeah, that's the goal. Like if we could, further our ecosystems this way and blossom together, I think that would be quite interesting.
So good. So usually what we do, we try our best to stick within time. And I'm to the audience, I'm so sorry that we cannot provide answer to all of your questions. So what we will do is that we will ask you to please follow up with both companies' social handles. They'll be there to give you all the full support that you need. 24 hours they are online, and OpenFabric, I look for OpenFabric, we online 24/7. We give you the full support, and I believe that Router also does the same. So we will, before we close this session, what we do usually is that what do you want to take away from this entire? Just one sentence. Tell us We'll start with Andre, then we'll go to router team. Andre, what
Could
do you
you,
want people to?
Avik?
Sorry.
Could you repeat the part that you just mentioned? I guess I
So I'm
lost.
saying usually what we do by the end of the session, we allow our guests to give us takeaway. What is it that you want people to take from this entire session? If you could just make a sentence or a statement. So that's what we do, at least to climax when a person leaving this session, they know that, okay, I learned something, I'm going to take this home, I'm going to, like that. So Andre, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I guess one of the key things that people can take from this session, it's about by connecting your islands, we're creating a continent. So the more project, the more partnership, the more integration we manage to do, the more strong and the more future the Web3 itself became. Because it's all about building. It's not only about building and being like siloed, being alone, but when building together with other people, when you collaborate and cooperate, you can definitely create more interesting, more powerful solution. So this is similar with the AI. So if you combine multiple AI, you can get something which is more powerful, and it can solve even more complex problem. So I guess this is the same with this kind of partnership and synergies in the space.
Okay, so sorry for cutting, Andre, but there are a couple of more questions coming in, and then before we move forward, I will need to have your consent first. So for router team, are you guys okay with having additional 10 to 15 minutes to answer all of the question? Does that work for you? There's no
Yes.
pressure. There's no. Are you guys
Absolutely fine with it.
are you
Yeah.
guys down? Are you guys down for it?
For the culture. For the culture.
Then let's do it.
For the culture,
Yeah,
let's do it. But I may hop off in the next 5 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. Like I haven't had my dinner yet, and my stomach is starting to rumble a little bit. So like in 5 minutes, I might be heading out. But yeah, let's go ahead.
We could do a couple of questions for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so let's vote. How many questions can we take from the audience? It's drum roll. How many questions can we take from the audience?
Oh, how many questions do we have? I mean,
Yeah, we have like more than 11 questions from the comment session. How many questions can we take?
oh wow! All right.
Maybe we can do a rapid fire.
Yeah.
Like you can just keep
Yeah,
firing
let's
the
do that.
questions, and we answer it like
Let's
really
have them
quickly.
roll. We want to answer everyone's questions, so let's
Yeah.
try and get them all done.
Okay, we get
But like let's
okay.
answer them like in rapid fire style, right? Like fast, you know. Like,
Okay, sure. That sounds good. So yeah, we're moving on the questions. So to our people in the audience, you have the support of both Router and OpenFabric. They give the consent to spend extra time with you as more of being part of you. So we have this question. This one says, on which days of week crosstalk event occur? It is Q&A by community event or one that you guys latest development about the project. This one's for both Router and OpenFabric AI. So Andre, you want to go first with this one? You want to go to Router?
So I guess the question is it's about this kind of session like we're holding today. So normally we have like each week on Wednesday we have, but at the same time we have like this kind of session when we discuss with people, when we hold AMAs and live sessions. Of course, we also organize some extra events, but we normally announce them in our social media channel, and people, so that people are well informed and when and how they should participate on this event. But of course, if they just miss it, no worry, because all of them are recorded and are presented in also like in our YouTube channel. So yeah.
Good. So you have that. There are a couple of more events that are coming on Q&A session. Let's go to Router. Router, do you guys have anything in store for the audience? They want to know.
I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take forward. So,
No, please, Lakshmi.
oh, it's okay. So I guess every day at Router we have some or other thing to tell our people. So the simplest way of knowing it, or the simplest way of getting that what exactly is happening, is actually coming on our socials. We actively engage in such AMAs, Twitter Spaces. We are also planning on having community calls with the community. We have our Telegram group, Discord, Reddit. So you pretty much can go everywhere and figure out what is happening around.
Good.
So there's no
Raju.
weekday. It's like we
Okay.
are always there to tell you.
This next one say, do you have any community for non-English user? So I want to know both Router and OpenFabric AI. Do you have any non-English community? Community for non-English speakers?
So I can answer that. See, at Router, we've been around from 2020, 2021, early part we've been live. So we've obviously had members from our team from all parts of the planet. So within our team itself, we have folks that speak Mandarin, Hindi, which is the most common language, in fact, inside Router. And then we also have folks who speak, like some European languages like Spanish, and yeah, I mean, like it's a pretty dispersed team, and we hope to grow the community even further. Geographically, we are in all continents, but including Southeast Asia, obviously, Middle East, North Africa, India, uh, and we have a lot of presence in North America, in Europe, South America. I don't think there's not even like one country where we are not. And in terms of languages, Spanish is handled from within the team. Mandarin, we've even had Mandarin focused, AMAs for the audience in East Asia and Hong Kong, and Singapore and things like that. So yeah, language is something we want to expand on, and I think AI also brings a very interesting flavor, because now you can use AI to address audiences in all languages.
Good. Well, we have some really good response from your side. Let's hear from Andre. Andre?
So for them, of course, we are building a global community, but up to this moment, we just focus on our content for for English, because it's the most well known and used language. Of course, in the future, we're going to start open up like community channels in other language and English. But at this moment, we try to be a bit focused and to put our efforts. And currently, of course, given that English is one of the most well utilized language in planet Earth, yeah, we only have support for English language, but we're going to add more communities in different language soon.
Good. So you got it from both Router and OpenFabric. We are going to definitely integrate from OpenFabric, integrate more options where you have different community, different people within the community that speak different languages. That fostering one of our goals to have a more diverse community, and I think Router is also doing the same thing. They've already started, so you get that from them, and I hope they provide you the answer that you're looking for. Let's go to the next question. This one says, Testnet Monday is still on. What incentive are on stock? This one is for Stick, rather. This one is for Router.
Our Mandala is definitely on, but I would want to read the question because I couldn't hear you.
So this person is saying, what are possible? Oh no, okay, I think
The incentivized testnet. So more about the IDAPathon.
yeah.
Okay. So our gamified testnet, which is also our incentivized testnet, is coming soon, and Nimbara is yes. People can go participate and get the incentives. Simple.
Okay.
The details are on our socials, guys. So if you're looking forward to like take part, I mean, you can already go and try our cross-chain NFTs and probably get one for yourself. So yep, please do follow and ensure you have the notification bell for both OpenFabric and Router, so you don't miss any tweet from any of our projects.
Good. You hear that from Router. You just answer your question. Let's go to the next question. This one say, okay, what are possible collaboration areas between OpenFabric and router protocol?
We
I
actually
think we
covered
touched
quite a
base.
few of these,
Yeah,
didn't we? Yeah.
we covered that. Let's just
For
keep
those
this
who are
one going.
joining now, please make sure you watch the entire video because there's some really cool stuff we cover here.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so the next one say cross-chain DEX has saw several hacks. Even big guns have seen fit. Not naming here. How router protocol is prepared for any kind of mishap? Pretty much
It's a
mishap.
great question. Again, covered. Yeah,
I
please.
think I'll take this one. It's more from an architectural and game theoretical standpoint. As I already explained, we are a blockchain itself, and we are Byzantine fault tolerant because we use a POS economic system. So game theoretically, the entire network is secure, right? It's secured by validators, and all the validators have to turn rogue for something to really go bad, or more than 2 by 3 plus 1. But game theoretically, that's not possible. So that's the protection. On the architectural level, you have COSM WASM. The code is breaking down to machine code. It cannot you know it cannot get better, right? Even Solidity is prone to various kinds of hacks, and it has security vulnerabilities, but Cosm Wasm does not, right? And then we also give you the facility of adding custom security modules on top of router. Okay, this is where the differentiator comes, right? And once you can place like one layer of security on top, then you have like all the guarantees that you would need. It's just not possible. If you can somehow hack router, router has a flat $200,000 cash prize for anybody who can hack the network during testnet. So yeah, take up the challenge and good luck, because you will not be able to do it.
Just to give more perspective, I saw somebody like comparing us to a DEX. We are a chain, so we do have a lot of DEXs that we will be partnering with to facilitate cross-chain transactions rather than being a DEX ourselves. We're not a DApp, we're an actual L1 chain.
So yeah, guys, we have more questions coming in, but we're very sorry that we cannot provide answers to all of these questions. As I mentioned initially, please reach out to both our company's social handles, and we'll be ready to provide you more answer to your concerns. We move to the next question. This one said, could you share some plans for the upcoming years? I think we already touched base on that. We talked about the big visions and plans. Let's skip this one, go to the next. How do you see router competing with big cross-chain decks that are available right now? This one is for the router people.
I think
I
this
mean,
one is already answered. I think we can skip
This
to
is
the
the
next.
thing. Don't confuse us for DEX. We will facilitate more cross-chain transactions for DEXs. So DEXs will be using routers middleware as a technology therein to facilitate better cross-chain interoperability for dApps and other
and if we
DEXs.
have to, compare us to our competitors, I guess uh, we as a project are doing great in terms of our product and tech. I mean, we are offering stateful and stateless bridging, which is one of its kind, and with now being the pioneers and flag bearers of cross chain, I guess. Yeah,
Well, I
we
think, yes, please go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, that was it.
I think we'll take the last two questions, then we'll call this a day. So this one is for, I think it's for OpenFabric. Andres, this is for you. I'm very interested to invest in your project. When and where can I buy your token?
So we're doing the final touch, as I mentioned. One of the key milestones that we're preparing next is to launch our economy. So of course, in order to launch our economy, we're going to have our token launch. So we're going to announce pretty soon in our social media channels. So be sure that you follow us and you stay in touch with us, because we're going to follow some big announcement from our side. Of course, I cannot disclose right now all the details, but just stay tuned and you will find out all the details regarding the next step, and especially if you are interested in the new type of economy that we call it the economy of intelligence. So yeah.
Okay, there's another last question. Then we'll close the stage. We just get a final word from both our speakers, and we can close this session. This one is, I think it's for Yegi and Andre. I'm a crafted new babes. So is the okay? Let me read this over. I'm a crafted new babes. Is okay? The person made your project. Your project is it suitable for them? They want to know whether Open Fabric AI is suitable for them since they are new to the market or they are new to the space.
So if it's about being new to the AI space or new to the these new things, of course, AI it's in a way it's a new thing for a lot of people because of course it's invented like a lot like almost 15 years ago, but it's new because it's utilizing in a new way. But you don't have to be like a technical people to take advantage and to utilize AI. You can also be like a non-technical people and to utilize AI to create new things, to be creative, to even to create art or to generate new content. I guess that AI itself will going to open up a new opportunity for everyone. So not only for technical people, but also for non-technical people who can utilize technology to create new things, to be creative, and to, of course, to bring value to the world. Because in essence, this is about.
Good. So we are going to wrap this also going back to what I mentioned initially, that giving you one word or one sentence of what you want people. Then I want to take away from this session. I think Andrew, you're on the floor, but then we had to cut you off because we had another message coming in. So to wrap this up, let's hear from you. We hear from Brout, we hear from Lakshmi, we hear from Venka. Yeah, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Then we close this up.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, it's important for us to be able to create, bridges between islands because in a way, all the projects in the space are like, silo, like island who are operating, creating very interesting things by themselves. But I guess that if we manage to create, bridges between all these small islands, we can have like a country, and then we're going to have like a continent. So this is something very important, to keep doing in the future to create new partnerships, create new bridges, and new synergies with everyone in the space.
Good. Lakshmi, let's just hear from you.
I guess one of the key takeaways that I would want to give the community is I see with the messages that have been coming, there is some confusion about what we are doing. So I would like to clarify that again before going. We are a cross-chain solution platform, and we are working towards the multi-chain future or the interoperable world, and we allow builders and developers to come and build on us and bless the space with interoperability.
Good. Right.
Yeah, well, for me now, our synergy is I look at it as two heads are better than one, and if one of your heads is a network of decentralized AI nodes, then hey, that's a strong head. So looking forward to going ahead with a lot of work and obviously giving to the entire community so that they can enter the space with confidence and of course with complete interest.
Nice. Araju, your time.
I think this is, like this was a very good session. And just to remind you that, you can be a participant in our ecosystem because we are already a live project with a token for our community as well. So not, obviously not financial advice. I'm not going to talk about price, but to be a part of what we are building and to kind of, grow the universe of, the crypto better, be a part of our community, take part, build stuff, partake in the culture, attend more of these YouTube live sessions or Twitter spaces and learn from thought leaders like Andre or us for that matter, right? And yeah, like now is the time to build and hustle. Like that's what bear markets are for. So please do that, and like you'll succeed in life pretty much.
Good. Yeah, from our speaker, to just give your takeaway, they want you to understand overall, they want you to understand that collaboration is better, and they also want you to understand what they are building individually. Has Brad also mentioned, I mean, it's more important when two heads come together to create a solution. That means that there is some substantial behind that. So we want to say thank you so much to you, our team from Router, and to you, our very own CEO, Andre Tara. Thank you for being on this session. Thank you, Laxmat, Raju, and Brout. We really do appreciate your time. And to our very people within the audience session, want to say thank you for sticking around. We appreciate your comments and your questions. If we do not answer your question from speaking from Open Fiber, if we do not provide you answer to your question, please, we're going to drop a survey in the comment section. Please feel free to fill up the survey and give us as many feedback as possible, because based on your feedback, we create something amazing. I think it's the same for Router. Make sure you visit their social handle. Follow them, follow us, follow Router, and ask your follow-up questions for this session. Thank you so much for joining us, and do have yourself a pleasant evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andre. Thanks, Marvin.
Brad, make sure you have your dinner.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great day.
Later, guys. Bye bye.